And there goes the starting whistle. PHC move the ball left. Attacking down the far side, ball's trickling and looking like it's going into touch for the first goal kick of this match. And goal kick will be taken by Jason Williams. Jason surveys the field, dresses back. Here he comes. Drives the ball wonderfully. 20 feet in the air, goes up. Two go up. It's headed on. And North Village are breaking on the far right-hand side. Attempting to go by. The defender there was met with a defensive play. The ball's knocked into touch. But we've got our first attack in the final third of the PHC Zebras, and Village have the ball. Throw in. Ball's thrown down to number 10, Jason Lee. Pushes it back to the thrower, but unfortunately it goes into touch. And PHC will take over. Ball is thrown 20, 30 yards. Ball's intercepted by PHC. It's control and knocked in the middle of the park. Warren looks to pick this up, and he's quickly dispossessed. Via the Village have the ball and are dressing back into their defensive posture. Ball's hit over the top. It's into the gap. In an attempt to actually knock the ball over the defender. It's been cleared, and Hollis begins to dribble. It's on the far right hand side. Drifts the ball out to number 17. PHC dispossessed just momentarily. Villager repossessing it. Ball's knocked inside. Defensive. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, Village are on the scoreboard. And it's only been about 2 to 3 minutes of this particular match, and they celebrate. And PHC have been caught flat-footed. A dive by Troy Hall. Went in vain, ladies and gentlemen. Well-headed. Past his hand. And the referee Machette is looking to beckon them back onto the field so that the game can be restarted. A beautiful start by the North Village Rams. Don't know who actually scored that one with the header. We'll find out and report that to you momentarily. And an errant, almost mistake happening with PHC. Center off there. Jalen Harvey allows the ball to run into his defensive third. He's going to be pressured. Uses his body, and he's been dispossessed. Oh! An opportunity just went a begging there. Fortunately, Jason Williams was reading the play. And that long touch he was able to pick up. He drives the ball into the air, high. Ball's down to the defensive line of PHC. Ball's then knocked into the middle of the park. Jalen Harvey knocks it back with his head, and PHC attempt to get the ball underfoot and under control. Ball's almost gone out, but quickly repossessed by PHC on the left-hand side of the field. Played short, played back into the center of the park. Coming from left to right, PHC is looking, and he switches it back to the other side, to the left. Ball's knocked inside, and an astute read by the left back, or the right back. But cover comes from the center back, and a dispossession. Smith is looking to drive, and the ball goes high. First shot towards goal by PHC. Anthony Machette, referee, didn't really like the sound of the ball. I think what he was checking also was the fact that the ball had hit the top of the back grid, which is metal, and he wanted to make sure that the ball was still very much intact and fit for play. He returns the ball to Jason, who starts off with a goal kick to the left-hand side. Ball goes long and high. It's at the middle of the park on the side, and Pierre Smith looks to bring this ball under control, and unfortunately, he knocks it into touch where PHC will take over with a throw-in. Ball's thrown, chested back down to number 14. 14 goes behind his back, and he's held up by Hollis, who grabbed him. Janai Rayner, nice attempt. Good skill, confidence. Oh, this is not a very good kick by him. Fortunately, his team was reading. Marco Warren was reading that, and they retain possession. Number 13 picks the ball up. He rolls the ball to the left. Just continues to go left. Wonderful. Close down there. Ball's onto. And that's a very, very fast break. It's a very interesting set of tactics happening there. PHC is allowed to rotate the ball left and right, and immediately when it goes into a position of passing, Jason Lee is on the sprint to close it down, and the receiver doesn't have much time to play, apparently. So obviously he has to make an adjustment if he's going to get better at doing that. The ball. Oh, that's a definite foul on Dimitri Daniels. And Village will get a free kick. Keishan Bean comes across, and he starts to play into Jalen Harvey. They go inside. Oh, and this. Telling you, there's some errors happening there in the middle of the park here by Village, which may cause them some problems if they don't get better at that. Zebra moves forward. Ball goes over the top of the defense. This is a running play, and it's beautifully done. Oh, Jason Lee read it, but unfortunately he was beaten to the ball by the PHC player. The opportunity ensued as Jason tried to recover. He slipped, but fortunately he had some defenders to assist him, and the PHC player was cut out from the angle of being able to shoot directly on goal. And he will survive this to get another goal kick, as opposed to picking the ball up from out of the back of the goal. Here he comes. Another wonderful drive to the middle of the park. 3 players go up or try to be knocked on, and then met with a defensive clearance. That clearance is continued to the left-hand side of the field, knocked down by number 3 of Village. And Village retain to start the attack down the right-hand side. 2 players are chasing. Jason Lee is pressuring, but the ball and the players run out of room, and the ball goes into touch. A throw for the PHC Zebras. Ball's attempted to be headed back, but only to Shane Hollins, who continues his dribble. He's going baseline. A sliding tackle ensues, but it was finally touched out on the baseline by PHC, and we'll have the first corner of the match for the North Village Rams. Players move forward. Corner will ensue shortly. Here it is. Nicely put. 20 feet in the air. 3, 4 player sky. It's knocked towards the goal. Troy comes forward. He gets a hand on it, hits it against the player. It goes against the back of his player, and then goes back into touch. And a corner will happen again on the same side for the North Village Rams. That's a second good opportunity for Village to actually increase the score. And here they have another. Low this time. Didn't beat the first defender at 10 yards. It's now with PHC, and the ball's played behind the breaking players, and unfortunately the break has been stopped. And an attempt to feed Jason Lee on the left-hand side, who switched up from the right, has gone to PHC in terms of a favor for a throw-in. Oh! Number 85 pushes the ball into the gap. Pierre Smith pushes it back. Number 85 moves down, and he's stopped momentarily. Gets back his dribble. Pierre Smith turns the ball and falls. He comes back, and he's got possession. Oh, a wonderful stand-up play there, PHC, and he runs out of room, unfortunately, and that was number 14 of the PHC Zebras, Janai Rayner, who astutely put his foot on the ball, stopped any movement, and then started his own dribble. But Village have the ball back onto the chest of Shane Hollis. Shane quickly recovers, And here we go. Castle's looking to dribble. He runs his player out of room. He continues on. He should take him baseline, and he does. Jalen Harvin's quickly in pursuit. And Castle runs out of room, and Jalen makes sure that there is no cross as a result. He places the ball. Players dress back 25 yards into their half as PHC set a defensive line. Jason Williams steps up. The ball is just outside the 10-yard circle, and there's a chase taking place. Wonderful knockdown. Dimitri Daniels attempts. Unfortunately, his attempt was recovered by himself, and it didn't work. And the ball's then pushed into a channel, and the keeper calls and cleanly collects, and that's Troy Hall Jr. Throws the ball out here to deny Rayner. Rayner looks and surveys. There's movement above him. Ball's unfortunately brought. Still in play. Quick feet of Warren there. Warren's looking to move. He comes inside to his left. Attempts to pass. It's blocked out, and the ball goes into touch. Warren will leave the ball for Janai Rayner to throw, and he moves off. Ball's thrown in, and a number of players surround number 11. And then the ball is finally cleared. And there's an opportunity here. It's a one-on-one scenario. Out hustled. And there's a wonderful turnaround, and then a recovery run by a PHC defender, number 15, who then clears the ball, Julian Carpenter. But the ball will remain in the final defensive third of PHC, where Village will move forward and attempt to add to this score. Ball's thrown. Jason Lee chests. He looks, tries not to go back to the thrower. He's actually beaten two. And Hall comes forward as a result of the ball bouncing off his defender and cleanly collects and attempts to start this drive. And he does find his sole player up there in front, and a wonderful attempt to move the ball forward by Castle. I think it's goes for naught. And ball's running underneath players' feet. I don't know if it's the marsh conditions out here, it's a sinking field, or what's going on, but an attempt didn't cleanly connect by Castle. That was one of the first goal-scoring opportunities, the first shot on goal, really, that Jason Williams had to collect, or the ball would have gone into goal. Now, Village take possession, and we've got Harvey looking, and he goes across to a center back, and they open up the field that way. The ball's pushed down. It's number 4, Rai Sampson, and he's surveying. Goes over the top 30, 40 yards. It's onto the head of a PHC defender. Down the left-hand side there. Pushback, then over on top again, and then the ball is knocked into touch. I'm sure that's not what the player meant, because there was no PHC player really in that area. In the middle of the park. Throwing 20, 30 yards. Players go for it. PHC get on the top of it. Try to settle it down. Knocks forward in a nice position. Castle's going to be looking to go, and he's being pulled, and he's going to try a shot, and Jason Williams! Whoa! He didn't get that cleanly. Fortunately for him, it did not deposit into the back of the goal. Nicely put to the back post at the 6-yard box, and up steps a drive taking place. Left there. No one really challenged that from the Village side of things, and he had more time to connect with that, and that was number 6, Rakeem DeShields, and the shot went wide. Village at the top of their 18, pushing the ball left to right, goes internal. Keishan Bean evades one. He's got time and space. He's dribbling. He's looking for a pass into the channel. The pass was received, but the defender also timed his defensive move, and PHC take over. Marco looks, he goes internally. Ball goes over the behind, really. Trey looks to get it back. The ball's and attempts to service the ball quickly across. But PHC retain possession. Marco picks it up. He's on the far right-hand side. Wonderful move, goes around, and then looks to get it back, and he does. And the ball's rolled in, not with the purpose that it should have been. And there's a knock into the back by Trey on the Village defender. And as a result, Anthony Machette, the referee, saw that and judged the foul. Ball's driven by Jalen. Not very good. Trey's into the gap there, defending the space. Marco's on the dribble. He's looking for players. He's got one moving up. The left back is moved up. He's going to service him into the channel. And that was cut out by Jalen Harvey. Ball's pushed out to Dimitri Daniels. He's moving down the left-hand side. He should push the ball down. He does. And oh! The referee's whistle goes. You had to have been there to know that the ball had gone out. Fortunately, the person that was there was the linesman who could see. Ball's thrown in. Janai Rayner's got this ball. Goes to Trey. Goes back to Rayner. Rayner looks. He goes just inside to Marco Warren. Warren flicks it out. Number 11. There's a run by Rayner. Rayner's gone. They're going to need to get it to him. He circles back. Fortunately, he finally gets it. He's being pressured. And the ball goes inside to number 11. PHC are moving the ball well. They've beaten the defensive line. Not quite, ladies and gentlemen, but the move was good from left to right. Short little crisp passes of 5 to 10. And the right back must compliment his discipline, because he definitely was not in line with the, he had let the other player go through and kept him in an offside position. Ball was blasted against. Yep, has been adjudged correctly. And it is North Village ball. Thrown to and then punched on in the middle of the park. This is an opportunity. Number 17, Keyshan Bean, recognizes it. His player has fallen down, Rakeem Shields. He's picked up the ball again there. And unfortunately, outstretched leg to get the advantage was met with a foul on Janai Rayner. And referee Machette was in hailing distance of that, 20 yards, and he saw it quite clearly. We call that studs up, so to speak. Ball's moved by PHC in possession from right to left. Still on the left-hand side, looking to go long, and they do, 40 yards into an area that was headed by the defender. Oh, there's an opportunity, and they did steal. They've got numbers. And the ball's headed back calmly by the center back, or the left back there, of the North Village Rams into the waiting arms of Jason Williams. And that was done by number 85, Taryn Frey. Ball's now in the possession of Jalen Harvey. Number 5, he goes into the channel. Dimitri Daniels allows two to come, and he spins them out, puts the ball into Shane Hollis, who's waiting top of the circle there. Keyshan Bean looks, he spins, he's going back to Harvey, and they've gotten 20 yards. They move the ball again on the left-hand side. Keyshan knocks it out. Taryn Frey wonderfully knocked, and the ball, and we must credit the defensive line of the Zebras, who stood their ground and allowed Pierre Smith to run on the inside, or the underside, and he ran into an offside position, and the threat is over, and the ball is back with the PHC Zebras. Janai drives this 40 yards. Up goes Taryn, defensive header to the right. Coming quickly is, and he's dispossessed. He's now repossessed. It's a nice move by him, and he should move forward with the dribble, and he does. Dimitri Daniels is looking to go down the side, and the dummy is taking place by Pierre, but the defensive move done by the center back of PHC. I think it's number 9. No.
think it's Naeem at the long red.
Michael Lamb.
Oh, yeah, Michael
Okay.
Lamb, yeah.
Okay. Number 3. But Village now. Well, that was an easy dispossession. Up steps number 3, pushes the ball out to Jason Lee. Jason's got 1. Tries to go around with the speed, but the defender allowed him the first step, giving him the benefit of a yard or 2. Because if you get too close to Lee, he's going to use that speed. That first step, 2, 3 steps is very, very good, very powerful, very effective. And obviously the left back has learned that that's what he shouldn't be doing. But a corner has happened as a result, and Village are looking to add to their score. Nicely done, near post, another header taking place, and the header goes high and wide. And a goal kick will be executed by Troy Hall Jr. I think we're probably at the 15 to 20 minute mark, where the pace of the game has been established. And that was a throw-in. I didn't quite know what was taking place there. And PHC looked to move this ball forward. They knocked the ball. And Castle's on his left side. He's looking to dribble. He's going to try to use his speed. It's being matched by number 4, and then finally cleared by the North Village number 4, Rai Sampson. Breaking now is Village, and they're on the right-hand side. Dimitri's on that side. He's on the far right. Oh, beautifully done. Number 3 has come inside and gone to Hollis. Hollis looks to retain, but he's ganged there and dispossessed. And Marco Warren is on this. He's looking for a run. 2 runs should take place. Maybe he's looking. Didn't happen. Now he's gone back to Sampson. Or Rain, I'm sorry. And Marco's back on the ball. Ball's inside to number 11. The dribble should take place. It's going out there. And the ball's now back to number 14, who's all the way to baseline. He tries the first move to go to his strength foot. That's Janai Rayner to provide the service, but that's snuffed out by number 85, Taryn Frey. And PHC will get a corner as a result. I'm sure they're looking to get the benefit of a goal from this. And Trey Ming was stepping up. Nice corner to the back post again. Up goes the player. And it's a corner. It is definitely a corner. Definitely a corner, ladies and gentlemen. And there it is again to the back post. And up goes. Oh, and unfortunately, just over his head. Ball's now at the 18. It's going to be serviced back. There should be a run in. Ooh, and the attempt made was snuffed out by Jason Williams. He catches the ball cleanly, uses his body effectively to make sure the defender does not encumber him, and the ball is now down the other side of the field. But a goal kick will take place as a result. Jason Williams attempted a fast break to none other than Mr. Lee, Jason Lee. Troy Hall setting up, encouraging his players to move forward. He surveys the park, goes high, the ball's at the center circle, 2 players with Sky. Warren moves to get possession. He flicks the ball forward, fortunately, and there's no service in the center of the park, but there's someone to the left. Trey moves up, he's got this, he moves it even further left, and there's a lot to do, and we've run out of real estate there, and that's all he could do was to try to keep the ball into play, and unfortunately the ball went high and wide, never really came back. Williams sets up for the goal kick. He thinks the better of a fast one. Beckons his players to go forward, and he'll use one of his strengths, which is the long, forceful drive. And as you can hear that, and it's carrying. 2 players go up, and it's well headed by Janai Rayner, forcefully into a position where Rayner's muscling. There's an attempt to push the ball forward into the channel. But unfortunately, there was no one really that could chase that down, and Jalen Harvey watches the ball as it goes back to the security of Jason Williams, and Williams is playing baseline possum. Finally picks the ball up, drawing Castle down, which forces him to pick the ball up, and he throws the ball out. Ball's knocked along to the far right, mid-side of field, headed wonderfully and defensively back into the Village area, but now it's in the possession of Keyshawn Bean, and Keyshawn Bean has fed Hollis, and the PHC line is dropping back, and you credit the run, the defensive run back, which players must do if they're midfield players. An attempt to break on the left-hand side for PHC is seeing dividends, and there should be some service, and it is. Unfortunately, player was in the right position to temporarily knock it down, and a nice flick on, and it's right to Warren, who was awaiting and anticipating, and this is a 1-2, and this should be, and it is a goal, ladies and gentlemen. You could see it as clear as day as Santa Claus brings presents. My, well executed, and I must credit Warren, who looked like he was setting up for a shot. He did not try to put a lot of power to it. The ball trickled across in a wonderful position where it was advanced and deposited into the net, and that was a wonderful response here at the 35th, I think, moment, or maybe the 30th minute? 30th minute by PHC, and they celebrate. It was either him or Castle, one of the two. And now the play resumes, and Dimitri Daniels is looking to bring it down, and there's an attempt, and the ball did go out. And Dimitri Daniels is favoring runs by both teams. Credit both teams for being able to actually draw what they call first blood in this match. And a turnover there by number 14, and Trey Ming is looking to put... Castle holds the ball up, but it goes back to the middle of the park. There's an attempt to pass, almost met with a dispossession. PHC is basically trying to get the defensive midfielder involved, who's wanting to start this play. Them and the left back are looking to play. They've drawn down two who were coming to steal from Village, and they were drawn, and now PHC are approaching the final third. The ball goes to number 7. It's put into the gully. Oh, and that's a... Whoa! And Jason Williams comes up with a big foot, and there's an attempt to drive, and the ball is way up in the trees. My. All he had to do was put it on target, just a slight chip at 5 feet, and it may have done the job. Jason Williams has nothing to do but say thank you as he lines up this goal kick. He goes to drive, another wonderful drive at 20, and it's back at the 22-yard line, and then cleared by the center back, number 2 of the PHC Zebras. Number 85 picks it up with the throw. Tran Frey, and he goes 20 yards, met by Janai Rayner. Wonderful anticipation. The ball looked like it was going to go out, but it stayed in, and the ball's flicked into the center of the park. And this is an opportunity to break for the Zebras, but they had to be defensive-minded in terms of Village. And there's some... Jason Lee is getting the benefit of using his skill set. He's on the left-hand side. Does he service? Yes, he does. He puts it into a position where the PHC defender just watched it go out, even though there was an attempt by Pierre Smith to get underneath of it. Didn't quite work out, and you credit the defensive movement of the PHC defense. Nicely put in the center of the park. Trey Ming is underneath this. He's looking to settle the ball. Fed out to the left. An attempt to go left to right has caused a dispossession, and Taryn Frey should come out. He's got time and space. He's looking for the midfielders. They go past, and Jason, had he actually been more forceful in his run, he might have been able to get onto that. But now PHC have gotten this, and they're looking to move the ball forward. And this is a wonderful run through and it's cut out. And now Village have the ball, and Keishan Bean is looking to dribble. He goes to the right, has found this player. Oh, and there's a body, there's a thigh. A good, what I call a good foul by the PHC defender. A wonderful move attempted there. Had he been able to get by him, there would have been havoc on the PHC goal. A lot of pressure, but now they have the chance to dress back, create the defensive line, and match up with the bodies. And Keishan Bean is sliding this up. He goes wonderfully over, and there comes the keeper who pushes. No, I thought he pushed, but he caught instead. Cleanly, as a matter of fact, called it out. Troy Hall Jr. looks to start his play, does so. It's met with a defensive header though, and PHC will have to pick it up as in the middle of the park. Janai Rayner's looking to feed, and he does so. Found Warren, and Warren flicks it around, picks it up. Terran Frey did a wonderful job of defending to stop Warren temporarily, but you got to credit, and Keishan Bean is looking to hold on. He does so, finding an outlet pass, and he's found number 14, and there should be a gully type of pass into the channel, they call it, and it was cut out. Not a very good one. The defensive left back was right there to pick that up. And he receives it back. Moves the ball forward. PHC is moving it forward. They're going to go long, 20, 30 yards to the left-hand side. Defensively knocked down by number 3. Number 3 of Village. Where is he? They don't have it. Don't know who that is. But PHC take over. And this is an interesting opportunity. Williams comes forward. He's forced a PHC player out to the far side. Village is having to regroup, and they do. But PHC retain possession. They're going to go back deep. And there's a correction there to that number. Takai Grant is on the right-hand side there. He's wearing number 3, as opposed to what I reported earlier, which was number 15. And there was a foul on the far right-hand side of the field, and Jason Williams is going to get the benefit of clearing his line with that powerful kick again, driven on the far right side, stays in that line, and then defensively headed out by Trey Meng. Ball's received, thrown. Rai Sampson gets the ball. He's looking, surveying. Short pass ensues. Keishan Bean checks back down, gets it. He chooses to go long. He puts the ball into the channel. No runner except for Dimitri Daniels.
Take it off him, man.
No real threat there, and a nice play. This is one-on-one. Smith is looking to put pressure on Jalen, and Jalen calmly deposits the ball into touch, and he switched over as well from his natural left to the right side. The ball's thrown, ball's being pushed back to Janai Rayner. He's going to start a dribble. He has an option, and the option is met by Terran Frey, who puts the ball out, and the ball is pushed into an interesting position. And Jason Williams had to be astute there, and I also got to credit the pass done by Smith, who put that ball into a very interesting position. It was a one-on-one scenario, definitely ripe for the diminutive Castle to get his head on, and Jason Williams just nicked it off of it. And now the ball's back into play to the far right inside, where Jason Lee tries to round his player and is met defensively. Third, and the ball's thrown, and tracking back midfielders came back, found themselves temporarily out of position, and was able to actually knock the ball back into touch, where they can actually position themselves better to defend this attacking sequence by Village. The score remains 1-1 to both. Scoring first was Village within 2 minutes. And, this is an interesting scenario, but he doesn't have many. But he's found his players now coming forward. Village move, PHC. And this is an opportunity. And Rakeem will look to push the ball, and he does astutely. Unfortunately, it was read very well by Harvey, and Harvey scutting the ball out here, and the ball's knocked into a great position. And this is where Hollis will do his magic. He finds the move, and the cover comes though. So effective on the dribble. It's almost like he doesn't miss a step. 2 feet seem to come together, and before you know it, there's a larger step, and the ball's gone, and so is the man. But the cover was there. Ball goes into touch, and as a result, there will be a goal kick done by Troy Hall. Nicely done, just above the circle, chested down, recovered by number 14, Philip Parsons, who just deposits the ball, or someone deposits the ball into touch, and PHC have a throw-in. Wonderfully done, movement by Trey. A pass ensues into the middle of the park. Midfields are dropping back, and there's a break. There's some gaps. There should be enough time to look for a pass. The pass is over the line of defense, and Jason Williams has to come. He does. And fortunately, as the service was being made, his hand was able to get, the big right hand was able to bat the ball into touch, where PHC will get the benefit of a corner kick on the left-hand side, and Trey Ming will look to do an in-swinging one. Wonderfully near post, and Trey will get the benefit of it back, swerves it in, and Williams punches it clear. There's to keep it alive. Rakeem thought to do an overhead. He then chose to bring the ball under control. A shot came, and as a result, there was a defensive body in the way, and as a result, the ball now has been cleared. And recognizing the danger of a potential attack, the PHC player was able to clear before Keyshawn Dean was able to get the ball under control and start what might have been another opportunity for North Village to add to the score. Now the ball's back into play in the middle of the park. Pierre Smith is, and the ball's into the channel, and there's a foul on Harvey. Definitely Castle attempting to get the better of him, knocked him down from behind, and Parsons is on this. Parsons gets an internal pass from Terran Frey. Terran Frey waits for the pass back. He has to go back, and the ball's going to handcuff Williams, and Williams gets it away though, and Shakir Smith's going to attempt to drive, and he does get it a little lower this time. Look threatening, but no damage done. Took Village out of their sequence of comfortably playing from the back, and almost allowed PHC to add to the score. Ball's knocked down and chested down to Pierre Smith, and unfortunately runs out of room, where Trey Ming picks up the opportunity where the ball's come off, and Trey puts the ball onto the right-hand side with Marco Warren there being bothered by Terran Frey, and Terran Frey watches Warren very astutely and puts the ball into touch, and a throw will take place for the PHC Zebras. Rayner steps up, ball's deep into the defensive third of the North Village. The ball's thrown baseline. There's a crowd there, and there's an astute. Nope. Unfortunately, the referee did not see that even though Warren took a blow to the back, it wasn't enough to say that that was a foul maliciously or done with intent. Two bodies. Looked like Harvey was looking to recover because he lost sight of the ball underneath him. He backed up and he bodied Warren to the ground inadvertently, and there was a loud appeal. But referee Machette didn't want anything to do with that in terms of making the decision for a penalty. Bodies do collide in this match. Ball's nicely rolled down to Dimitri Daniels, who holds up his player, draws a crowd. The ball goes back to Terran Frey. Frey looks and he's looking to dribble. He continues his dribble, does well with his body to cover, and a nice move. And ball's now on the right-hand side. Oh, even equally wonderful move by the left back. And Parsons was able to go down and get the ball back. Rakeem body gets the ball. Oh, and this pass is just, oh, okay, now it's under control of PHC, and they move the ball forward. And Smith is on this. He's going to look to service. The service is not all that great, but it fortunately bounced in the path of Castle. Castle attempted to move the ball forward, but with this opportunity potentially for PHC to add to the score, Trey dresses back. There's signals inside, far back post, and up! Parsons defensively headed that away to the backside, and the ball has gone into touch on the other side of the field. And referee Machette has spotted something. Williams came by himself, and he was able to knock the ball clear. And another bit of service. Cut out. And Parsons is jostling. He's looking. Ball's knocked forward. It's fed inside. Castle's on this. He should spin. The block was done by the defender of PHC. And this should be a nice attempt to run by Keishan Bean, assuming that the ball would have gotten past this last defender, and it did not. Nicky Lamb was able to body that ball, and PHC was able to actually maintain a way to keep that ball from breaking free. But Village now have the ball, and Rakeem DeShields headed it down, and goes a bit too long. The attempt to put the ball behind the defensive line was successful, but no one was there to get the benefit of that. Only person was Jason Williams, who now picks the ball up, rolls it out to the left-hand side to trail to Harvey. Oh, and this was a wonderful timing, blocked by Castle, who came across and stopped Harvey from being able to deliver the ball out of danger. But it's still retained by Village, and Terran Fraze to throw the ball into the gap. And it looks like the referee assistant was spotted a infraction, which was a foul throw. Can happen in many instances. The back foot comes up, or the player goes onto the field. Nicely thrown down by Marco, and puts Rakeem away, who does the drive across. There's a hustle to get it, and PHC hustle better, and they get the ball back to Janai Rayner, who's going to look to go 30 yards. It goes in the center of the park. It is allowed to bounce. Defended by Village, but picked up again by PHC, and they look to resume the attack. There's a call here on the right-hand side by Rayner, who's looking to move forward, and this is going to work out. The ball serviced inside, but number 4, Village, is on the ball, and there's an attempt to get it down, and as a result, that attempt is successful, and unfortunately, the clearance was not as successful as Village would have liked. But the ball is now in the possession of PHC. 15 yards, 20 yards throw, and this was an opportunity. Oh, and well done by the defender there of Village, and up comes Rayner. Rayner's dribbling. He's going to go to DeShields. DeShields retains possession. Oh, and stolen, unfortunately, with an infraction by Hollis. And as a result, PHC will get the benefit of a free kick about 30 yards from goal, to the right or left of Jason Williams, who leans on the post nonchalantly to say, hey guys, just line this up here, I've got it. And now gets more attentive as a result, and the ball's coming over to the far side, 6-yard line, and up he goes and cleanly collects at the near post, and the whistle goes for the halftime interval, where the score: North Village Rams 1, PHC Zebras 1. And both teams, I'm sure, somewhat pleased with their performance, will go away and get refreshed, get some instruction, and come out to do battle in the second half. And we'll hope to see a clear victor of this Friendship Trophy semifinal here at the PHC Stadium.